can we all clap really loudly so I can see this in my thing of where to cut it?
Yep.
Okay, so like 3, 2, 1. Wait, on 3. Oh, sorry. Are we doing 3, 2, 1 clap or clap on 1?
Just 3, 2, 1, and then clap on 1.
Really?
Like 3, 2, 1, clap. 3, 2, 1, clap. Like that, okay?
Wait.
Now we're all just clapping like seals in our fucking houses like idiots.
Like Poplio. Poplio.
3, 2, 1.
All right, that's good enough.
Done. What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 26 of Podcast Reload. It's the general gaming podcast by SIFTD.net subscribers, where we invite community guests onto the show to talk about the games industry in all its weird ways. I am your host, Vin Hill, and joining me, as always, is, of course, my co-host and fellow Japan dweller, Evan Piotrowski.
Never count out pineapple and black olive pizza.
Okay. And joining us as well is, of course, our community guest, Shane, also known as the CuriousConjurer.
Hey, Sifters. Van Evan, thanks for having me back on.
Oh, of course, man. You're very welcome, man. Community corrections, any updates or anything? I don't think we've gotten it. I can't remember because it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on. Have you got anything to say?
You could say apologies. I mean, last weekend we were actually scheduled to record and I overslept. So, yeah, it is totally my fault.
Shout out to the impartialist for that. We apologize.
Yeah, I do apologize. He'll be back on for a makeup episode, but yeah, sorry about that last week. It was totally my fault.
It's all good, man. It happens to the best of us, as it were. It's all good. So, Shane, we've got a new game to play, man.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's play.
Okay. Basically, the game is save or kill. Basically, I'm gonna give you two game titles or two people that belong to the industry or something regarding the industry, and you have to choose which one you're going to save and which one you're going to throw into the gates of oblivion. You're never going to see him again. It's over, and you have to
Alrighty.
choose which one you're going to save. Okay, so here we go. First one: Persona or Yakuza.
Oh my god! How can you choose?
I gotta save. I have to save Persona.
Bye bye Yakuza. Never again, Evan. How'd you feel?
I feel it's so close to... That's what a slap in the face. The game's coming out next week.
Yeah. Sorry, Evan.
That's okay.
Okay, Braid or Limbo?
I gotta save Limbo.
Interesting.
Fair play. Final Fantasy or Pokemon?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, these are good ones.
Oh, boy. You know, I've never really been into Pokemon, so I guess I'll save Final Fantasy and hope that someday they'll pull out a decent one again.
So long, Pikachu. See you later.
Living on a prayer, like the rest of us.
Okay, Halo or God of War?
That's a good one, too. If you had asked me a year ago, I would not be saying this, but I'll save God of War.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, the promise is there.
Yes, it looks like it.
The last one is Doom or Wolfenstein.
Oh, I'll save Wolfenstein.
Oh really? That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Is that based on the old ones or the new ones?
It is absolutely based on the old ones because I have not played either of the new ones. So,
played Wolfenstein. Wasn't bad.
Was that a joke, Vin? You know, the old blood and the new blood?
I see what you did there. No, I totally missed that, but well caught, sir. Well caught. That was a good one. There was a lot of uncertainty in those ones. Pretty much every single question you had to pause.
Yeah. I actually thought you were going to be a little meaner to me, and maybe throw out like two of my favorite franchises or something. But no, it was pretty good.
What are your two favorites? I'll write on the list for another unfortunate soul.
Yeah, for the next time. Nah. I'm not going to give you the ammunition.
Oh. Okay.
All right, see how it is. No, that's cool.
He wants no one to have to make that choice.
Yes.
He's saving people from the pain, yeah.
Well, I apologize to the future fans of whatever game that's going to be. I'll figure it out. I'll find it eventually. I'll get there.
Yeah, you will.
All right, cool. So moving on, we're going to talk about what we've been playing this week, but I should say over the last couple of weeks. We're going to start with you, Evan, because of course you are the new and proud owner of a PlayStation 4 Pro. So what have you been playing over the last couple of weeks?
Oh man, I mean, with that Black Friday sale on PSN, I mean, what haven't I been playing? You know. Sorry. So last episode, I was playing through Uncharted 4, beat it, an amazing game, bar that horrible last boss battle. And I would say it is my favorite Uncharted, and I'm actually happy to say that because when the game first came out and everyone was doing their rankings of the series, not a lot of people put it first. I think most people said 2 or 3 was their favorite, but the game's amazing. And then I actually have to apologize to you because last episode you recommended Shadow of Mordor as your PlayStation game, and coincidentally, it was on sale during the Black Friday sale for like $7, a ridiculous price for the Game of Year edition. And
but you didn't pick it up, right? Because you only gave it a 6 out of 10 on your interest level. So
yeah, I know, right? So well, for $7, I'll pick up a 6. You know?
Oh, okay, fair enough. I see how it is. So was it a 6 out of 10 in the end? Did you...
Oh God, no. 40 hours and a platinum trophy later.
There you go.
I can totally see why that game was awarded Game of the Year when it came out a couple years ago. Was that 2013?
14, I think.
2014?
I don't know if it won Game of the Year, but it definitely got nominated for a few of them.
Yeah, it was nominated.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the game's amazing. There's one more game I want to talk about, so I don't want to get too much into Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor? I feel bad kind of passing over it, but the gameplay loop is so addicting that you just keep going. Like, I'm going to play for another hour. The Nemesis system, that is such an amazing and creative and powerful system that I'm surprised that no one has stolen it for their game.
Yeah.
No one's tried to recreate that system in any game after Shadow of Mordor.
Why isn't that system in the new Mafia game? Why?
It's amazing.
Why is that not in there? I don't understand. Why is there no gang game with a Nemesis system in it? It's crazy.
Yeah, and just when you find the guy that killed you and he got promoted, he just shoved it right in your face, and when you find him again and you kill him to get revenge, it's just the best feeling. It just makes every single fight so much more meaningful. And the stakes get higher and higher the more you fail. And my heart was racing for some of those battles, especially the Uruks who don't have a lot of weaknesses, and they're just really, really difficult to kill. But yeah, it's an amazing game. I will never doubt you ever again, Vin, and I apologize.
Okay, your next game on the list is Barbie Horse Racing 3.
Is that a real game?
I hope it is. I really do. I always use that as that's the ongoing joke, you know, when someone says, "Oh, recommend me a game." So Barbie Horse Racing 3, of course. It's the greatest game ever made. And they look at me
at least it's not. I'll take that over Mary-Kate and Ashley's hidden treasures.
Hey man, that was a good game. I don't even know if that was a real game, but I'm gonna give it props. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. But moving on, actually, I'm making up for lost time. I've actually, I've been playing the 2008 PlayStation 3 games of the world for so long that I've actually traveled into the future, April 2017, and I am playing Persona 5. Ooh. I'm about 6 hours in, and it's going to be worth the wait. I'll tell you that right now.
This is weird because how long have we been doing this podcast? It's coming up to a year now, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've 8-9 months maybe.
Right. So, in all this time, you've always been talking about games which came out 3-4 years ago, and now this is the first time you've ever had a title which is actually coming out, which isn't even out yet to most of our listeners that are probably going to be listening.
Yeah, I think I'm probably the only one. I'm one of the probably few people in who live in a Western territory that's actually played the game.
Right. Cool. So be as ambiguous as you can. Are you actually
Yeah.
enjoying the game?
I really will. You can tell it's a PlayStation 3 game, but with the aesthetic that they chose for the game, it doesn't matter. The game is it's crisp, it's sleek. Everything has like an animation to it. When you win a battle, they do this really, really clever thing. It's like the elevators in the Mass Effect or Dead Space.
Right.
But what they do is after you win a battle, your party starts walking to the left as everything's popping, like, okay, like level up, or you got this much money or whatever. So it's loading while it's doing that. And then it doesn't cut. The camera just loops back around to your back, and you just keep going again. Like those little touches, it's so
cool.
sleek. The music is great. Like the battle music after you win, like the success thing, it's like probably the best success music since the original Final Fantasy one. It's just like it's got the same kind of toe tapping awesome soundtrack that Persona 4 did. Yeah. Oh, just so everyone knows, I've played Persona 4. I beat it, probably clocked about 100 hours in it, and I really love that game. And being a massive Persona fan, the game is absolutely beautiful. The story is already good. I have 4 people in my party. All the characters are already like I like them. The conversations that they have, the way that you get to know them is very reminiscent of Persona 4.
That's good then.
Yeah. The battle system, that hasn't really changed much, but like the first dungeon and why you're there and what you're trying to do is really, really good. Like the framing of the story, it's just it's an amazing game. Like it's already, I know I'm gonna love this game, and I almost guarantee 100% that anyone who's a fan of Persona 4 will not be disappointed in this game. Then. It's definitely going to be worth the wait in April. It's like I absolutely love it so far. But yeah, it's
that's probably the main thing which like fans of the series want to hear. Like if you're a fan of the 4th one, then you're definitely going to enjoy this one. So
yeah, it's
always reassuring.
It's awesome. It's I don't want to get into any specifics, but it's a really, really good game, and I am going to play it after this podcast.
Sweet.
I'm
cool.
jealous.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of jealous people out there that want to play Persona 4. 5 even. It's almost out though.
I will say I don't know if anyone in this story will top Chie from Persona 4. I don't know if anyone can. I don't know if anyone can. But again, I only have 4 people in my party right now, so I don't know how these relationships are going to play out. But everything I've played about 6 hours. Everything is promising. Maybe no Chie, but whatever. What can you do?
Fair enough. Cool. So Shane, what have you been playing, man?
I've been playing a couple things recently. I last week or so picked up the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection on PS4. I've been curious
about this. I have been curious about this. Is it as bad as everyone is saying? Like the port?
No.
I figured it wasn't.
All that ridiculous stuff that, like, I mean, what with the crazy looking guy and the spider
like
monkey
this.
crawling.
Honestly, that stuff. Like all them bugs
just...
are in the original game as well. That's what annoyed me about that more than anything. And the whole guy in the background with the wildly like cartoony face, he was in the original game, but for the cutscenes or the background characters, they actually randomize all of the faces.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think that character is still in there, but no, that was just Polygon being Polygon. That I have not encountered any problems with it. It looks really good. I still love the game, so I'm most of the way through the second one, and I'll probably take a break before I jump into Brotherhood. But
fair enough.
And then I've also I just picked up, and I'm about an hour or so into Far Cry Primal.
Oh yeah, I played a bit of that as well.
Still haven't gotten around to this game. I've got it for free. No. It's sitting on my system, and I still haven't played it.
Yeah, and it's probably too early for me to call in, but I mean, I'm enjoying it so far, and I've never played a Far Cry game before, so
that's an interesting perspective then.
Yeah,
it's definitely a good first, I guess. It's definitely from the beginning.
I put it in, and I was like, "Yep, this is totally a Far Cry game," which is not a bad thing because I really like 3 and 4. But
I mean, see, I kind of like just what little bit I've played. I kind of wonder if maybe I would have a little bit of a better perspective on it if I was more familiar with, Far Cry games, but
No, I mean, most Far Cry games are the series sort of evolves quite a lot. I've found from what I've played of them anyway. I mean, Evan's played a lot more of like each individual game, but from what I see, they evolve quite a lot. So I wouldn't hang on that too much.
Yeah, I would say, Shane, if you end up playing through Primal and you had a really good time, I would recommend Far Cry 4. I mean, it's got to be really, really cheap now, and the gameplay is different enough. It's similar, right? It's a Far Cry game. It's got you climbing towers and jumping around and doing missions and stuff.
Yeah, you got your waypoints and all that.
You got your checklists, collecting stuff. But if you enjoy it, I would toss in Far Cry 4. It's a really good game.
Okay, I'll have to consider that. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm definitely eager to get back into it a little more.
All right, Vin. Then, how about yourself? What have you been playing?
I've been doing an Evan Piotrowski pre PS4 Pro actually.
Wow, we've turned. The tables have turned. We've switched sides.
We've switched completely. Yeah, but I've been replaying a lot of older games over the last couple of weeks actually, which is. It's kind of weird. I kind of feel bad for all the times I made fun of you now. It's weird to be back here.
Give in. It feels good.
Yeah, so after I said to you you should pick up Shadows of Mordor, you're like, oh, sweet, it's only $7 on the store. And I went and looked on the store. I said, oh, okay, Black Friday. And the only one there that I really wanted to play was like the DLC from Shadow of Mordor. But they only had the Game of the Year edition, and you can't just buy the DLC. It's like a separate thing. So it's only $7 for all the DLC, and I really enjoyed that game. So I bought that again, and I played through the whole game again, and I was on the way to platinum it. It was just insane. Like, I literally put about 30 hours in that game over a couple of days. It's ridiculous. I don't even know how I managed to play it that much, but yeah.
It's just, the game is that good.
Stellar
it pulls
game.
You in.
Yeah, it really does. Like, just that loop, just over and over again.
One great thing about that game is it starts... And you get the backstory, and you get to control your character running around Mordor within like 5 minutes. It's great.
You can literally jump into that game.
Yeah, games do not do that enough. It gives you the reins immediately.
But also on that Black Friday deal, I stupidly picked up Skyrim again. Oh Jesus! So yeah, I booted that up and I sunk like 10 hours into it, and it felt like one, and I was like, oh, this is happening again. So yeah, where we are next week, I don't know. But Last Guardian's out next week, so yeah. Anyway, we should probably move on anyway into our main topic this week. I'm actually going to go through all of the Game Awards because the Game Awards was yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday, right? I can't remember because me and Evan are on like Japan time, so
yeah, it was like 11 in the morning by us.
Right, so it worked out quite nicely because I was at work and I had it on my second screen, so I pretty much watched the whole thing. But how about you guys? Did you catch the whole show? Evan, did you watch it all?
Yeah, I jumped in the Discord chat with SIFTD. I think Shane, you were on there as well.
Yes.
I caught about an hour of the show yesterday, and then I played catch up today, so I did end up watching all of it.
Sweet. How about you, Shane? Did you watch the whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah, I jumped. I jumped into the Discord, SIFTD's Discord chat too, and I was watching basically from the pre-show all the way through, which is a good thing since they weirdly did a whole bunch of stuff during the pre-show.
Yeah, they gave out awards during the pre-show.
Yeah, that was weird.
They did a trailer during the pre-show.
Yeah, and they kind of just said it. There's only a handful of awards, right? Or like a dozen. And then Jeff Keighley's like, all right, and most anticipated game is Breath of the Wild. So, hey, let's talk to this.
Yeah, moving on.
Wait a minute, you just handed out an award.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, they should have had more of that stuff. Like the whole show in general. I mean, I enjoyed the whole show, but they definitely need more award giving. Even if it's triple the amount of time and it's boring to some people, them people deserve to be on that stage. If you won an award, you should be able to stand up there and give your little speech. Maybe that's just me, but yeah.
It's got to be a time issue, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And they've got a load of sponsors and time is money and all that sort of stuff. But kicking off right before the show, there was obviously the new Zelda trailer. Evan, you're a Nintendo fan, and how did you feel about it? Did you like the trailer?
It was okay. It just, I don't know. Some people are like going crazy over it. It looks, it's a bit more. It's a bit more of what. It's just like an extension of what they've showed already. Except the big thing is like, they showed a female character in the same kind of blue garb as Link. So it's like, okay, that's cool. Probably Zelda. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it looks good. I'm gonna play the game. I'm excited. But it wasn't this massive fucking reveal. Like,
yeah, it felt like it should have been a lot bigger than what they were hyping it up to be.
It's really short.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure
that's always my complaint. That's always my complaint with those world premieres, is that it's not actually a world premiere where you already know this thing exists, and we really didn't see much different, honestly. But
no, we didn't.
No.
It was gorgeous.
A possible female Link, but that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the I like the look of the game. I mean, this is going back a while, but I like it's a melding of like Wind Waker and maybe something like Skyward Sword. Kind of threw those two together in terms of aesthetics, which I like, because Wind Waker is one of my favorite Zelda games, and I really like the way that game's beautiful. Yeah, it looks good.
I just hope that the Switch is a decent console so I can actually get around to playing this one. Because I haven't played a Zelda game since probably, like, a console Zelda game since Wind Waker, so it's been a while.
Right. That's a long time.
Yeah, anyway, we should move on. Yeah, there's loads of awards given out, obviously. In the pre-show, Pokemon Go won Best Mobile Game.
By the way, I did terribly. I think there's like 21 awards handed out. I only predicted 8 right. I did
nailed it.
Complete garbage, yeah. I did not... I didn't think Pokemon Go was going to win. I thought Fire Emblem Fates was going to win, just because Pokemon Go isn't a very good game. It was a phenomenon, but the game itself isn't that good.
I think that's exactly why it won. It's just because of the amount of coverage that it gave to the industry.
But like, is that what I mean, if you wanted to hand out like a popularity award or something like that, milestone award, hand it to Pokemon Go. But I haven't even played Fire Emblem Fates. Fire Emblem Fates Theft.
Sounds like a good game.
Yeah, but I mean, that game is in, at least during like your review site year-end game deliberations, that game is in the conversation. I know. Mm-hmm. I was just a bit surprised, but yeah, whatever. Pokemon Go is not. I'm not surprised, but
I play Pokemon Go, and I'm even hesitant to call it anything more than an experience. I enjoy it. I enjoy the time I spend playing Pokemon Go, but
I
played a very mindless game.
It's a stretch to call it a game, I think, personally. But I mean, whatever. It's
you got to get those dailies in now.
We've got loads to get through, so straight off that, there was the new VR. The best VR game was Res Infinite, which again, there wasn't much in there this year, so
I figured it was going to win. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about it. Yeah,
and it's technically a remaster, so it's kind of an odd one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, to each their own. Most anticipated game went to Breath of the Wild. What are the odds?
I got that one wrong. I thought it was going to be Red Dead 2.
Yeah, maybe. But I kind of understand. I mean, Nintendo have been backing Keighley quite a lot for the Game Awards, so I kind of feel like that was a bone being thrown somewhere around there.
Plus, we've been talking about Zelda forever. It seems
like I think
hype has just continued to build and build and build. So
yeah, I'm getting sick of talking about it. Because every time we see it, it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, it looks fucking awesome, but I'm sick of seeing it. Look, Final Fantasy 15 all over again.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like, okay, just show me it when it's ready to be released, and then we'll talk.
Yep. So after that, the show actually apparently started. It's quite. I know, right? It's like there's so much stuff happened at the beginning of it. It made no sense.
The pre-show is over.
Yeah, and then Keighley came out and did one of the big ones, like right off the bat. Actually, I thought they would have done this towards the end, but they gave out the Industry Icon Award. So they did a massive opening for Hideo Kojima, and he came out and he accepted his award, and I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, how do you guys feel about it?
It was cool. I think someone on Twitter had said, like, I want my loved one, my significant other to look at me the way Jeff Keighley looks at Hideo Kojima. And I thought it was perfect.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was weird to me because, like, it's Keighley's show and they're friends, and just it's like Kojima went on a Everest expedition and got lost for like 6 months and then came down the fucking mountain like -1 appendage because he chewed it off like fucking James Franco in 127 hours, and like he survived
the hardships of the Japanese games industry.
Oh yeah, like he was giving him an industry icon award, but he didn't really talk about his legacy of the Metal Gear Solid series. He basically only talked about how he was robbed of his moment last year. And I thought like, well, it's good to address that. He didn't really talk about like what he did in the gaming industry, and like if you're going to give someone an icon award, I think you should kind of talk about like what they did, you know?
Yeah, it seems to be almost completely focused on like what happened.
Yeah, that was
him
all.
And
it felt like a follow-up in that respect. But
which is fine. Like he deserves the award. I just thought he should have talked about like what he brought to the gaming industry over whatever like 30 years he's been working in it, or however long.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. I mean, I completely agree that he should have gotten that award, but how Keighley sort of handled it was a bit weird. But other than that, I mean, it's all good and well.
No highlight reel of like interviews over the years, or like someone cut together a video. You know,
I reckon Konami would have fucking sunk that ship right away.
Yeah, they probably would have fit about that.
Yeah.
Well, plus, along those lines, though, Keighley mentioned like the whole reason he never could get the last year's award to Kojima is eventually ended up finding out that Kojima was just like he wanted to put all that behind him.
Right.
So this was like a new award to celebrate his, what he's doing from here on out. So, so honestly,
that's the weird thing though. Like, what is this award for? Is this like a makeup award, or are you actually just giving it to the guy, or are you giving it to him because you're friend? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good point.
Kojima's been in the industry for over 30 years. Like he's very deserving of an award. To celebrate his career thus far. Like I totally agree with that. But yeah, I think you guys are right. And Keighley's sort of reasoning for it was a bit weird. But speaking of weird, right after that, Kojima gave his very nice speech. The best he could, I should say. No offense to the guy. He does his best. He dropped a new trailer for Death Stranding. Now, this trailer, my brain still hurts from watching this thing. It looked nice. It was very exciting. It looked beautiful. I have no fucking clue what happened. I am so clueless. I saw Del Toro walking through with a baby in a bucket or something. That was Del Toro, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And then there was it still hurts me right now. So, what did you guys get from this? Shane, how did you feel about this trailer, man?
I mean, it was every bit as bizarre as I expect from Kojima.
Right.
I said in the Discord chat that it was one of the creepiest things that I've ever not understood.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was an interesting trailer. I'm hesitant to actually call it a trailer because obviously there was no gameplay, but it's another cinematic experience that is set in his new game world. But
yeah, or I wonder, are these just ideas? Are this stuff that might not necessarily even make it into the game, right? How far along?
Who knows?
The thing. What is this? Is it an in-game trailer? What do you do in this game? Is it an action-adventure game? Is it a first-person shooter? No one knows. And this is the third trailer that we've had from this thing?
Yeah.
Third. I don't know.
Is it? I thought it was just the second.
It's the second one. But it's way too early. It's way too early to even talk about this thing.
Yeah, this guy, I love the guy, but he cannot help himself, can he?
He really can't. I know the game is going to be fun in 7 years when it eventually comes out.
Exactly.
It's nowhere near that yet.
They are talking about this way too much, way too early.
Yeah. Trump is going to finish his first term before this game is out.
Yeah, and, with the initial drop of the E3 trailer, we learned that he hadn't even decided on an engine yet, and they just recorded that. They did, the mocap with a Redis in March, and that's all there was of the game was what they showed.
Yeah,
it was a very bizarre trailer. I still don't.
Honestly,
it felt like a cast announcement more than like a game announcement. He just needs to make movies, man. Stop making games, dude. Go make some movies. Like, live out your ambitions. Yeah, exactly. Just go and make some movies, and I'm sure their movies would be amazing. They really would. But it just feels like it's weird.
I will say one thing about these two trailers. Like, I loved how different, like, the first trailer of Death Stranding, it's like, what the fuck is going on? I like this. It's so different from what he's been doing. I will say I'm a bit disappointed to see, like, military aspects of this game. It's like, you kind of did that with Metal Gear Solid. I thought you were going the completely different direction.
He's an action movie dude, man. Like, he's always
military units and a tank.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, you're doing that again? Like, I hope you're not making some sort of, like, military tactical game
Stealth
again. I thought you'd go completely the other direction with it. Although
we'll probably see at PSX. He'll probably show another trailer, and then at E3 we'll see another. It's got to go on and on.
Honestly, it needs to disappear for like 3 years or whatever.
I did not want to see a trailer yesterday, and there it was. I mean, it looks great, but no idea. And I don't even think he has any idea yet either. I'm sure it'll be great either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving right along, straight after that, we had a load of advertisements, really, I should say, like just a load of trailers for games that were pretty much already out. So we're going to move straight into the next award, which was shown, which was Best Art Direction. And this was given to Inside. And I felt a bit weird about this. The fact that Battlefield 1 wasn't even nominated, I don't think, is kind of heartbreaking, because Battlefield 1 on a technical level was absolutely gorgeous, and the fact that it wasn't even mentioned is kind of wild to me. But I get like aesthetic and stuff, but like, have either of you guys actually played Inside?
I have
not yet. No, I want to.
I still haven't got around to it.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna go straight for Uncharted 4. I like this whole award show. I thought Uncharted 4 was going to be
a bigger winner.
Return of the King.
Right. Yeah, that Oscars moment.
Yeah. I thought they were just going to sweep the awards, but it seems like they're not doing that with the Game Awards. Like, I was just trying to pair it with how the Oscars are done, and it's like, it seems like they're trying to spread the love around a bit more, even though, you know, some games got more awards than others, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to play the game. It looked great, but I don't know if it should have won Best Art Direction for that, but you know, I'm sure there's other people out there that will agree.
It's unique. I mean, I love Uncharted 4. It's obviously a gorgeous game, but I mean,
but nothing different. You mean?
No, it's not different. You know, I mean, at least I haven't played Inside yet, but what I've seen of it, at least it's, you know, it was a unique visual look. So I mean, I could see it.
Yeah, like this is like what you were talking about, Vin. This is a opportunity for them to split up these awards into something like some sort of technical award, and then art direction, where you could give 2 awards out for different styles of you know, talking about the aesthetic of a game. But whatever, maybe in the future. Not sure though.
Yeah, but right after that, we obviously had the most important trailer of the night, which was for Schick Razors. I thought it was. I'm joking. Like, advertising aside, but not really. The next game was Best Action Game Award, which actually went to Doom, of all things. I still haven't played Doom. I don't know if you guys have either.
No, I bought it on the flash sale, so I have it. Haven't played it yet.
Yeah,
I actually didn't play any of the games that were nominated for this category. So
madness. Battlefield 1, Doom, Titanfall, Overwatch, and you got Gears of War 4. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I've only played Battlefield 1, so the fact that Uncharted wasn't even in that one was a bit weird.
I think they saved it for Adventure. I think they split those awards up.
One, didn't they?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I actually played I played Overwatch like 2 weekends ago. It was free for the weekend.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I don't like.
Oh yeah, you're not a multiplayer guy.
No, nothing. Yeah, we can talk about that a little bit later. It'll come up again.
Cool. So the next award, which was a pretty decent one actually, was Games for Impact Award, which was actually given out to That Dragon Cancer. And a lot of people don't know the backstory of this, but the game was actually designed by a father who had lost a son to cancer, basically, and he made a game about it, trying to express his feelings about it. But then when he actually accepted the award, it was a very emotional thing, and he basically broke down crying and stuff. And it was an interesting award, you could say. Like, how do you guys? I mean, I haven't played the game either, so.
Well, like Shane, you're a father, right? Like I don't have any children, but I mean, obviously, I was like, it was very, very emotional. But
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I mean, I think that the award is a great idea. To kind of look at those games that are trying to do something totally different.
Right.
That Dragon Cancer is actually a game I've always wanted to play, but I don't know if I can get through it.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons why I have as well. Because my father passed away back in 2008, so it's sort of a reverse to it. But like everyone can connect on some level to losing a family member, and just having that happen to like someone that direct is like you can't even imagine. So like trying to play through a game of all things to experience that, it's
yeah.
I'm sure that stopped a lot of people on the purchase button.
Yeah, it was such a bittersweet award. I mean, I feel for the guy. It's and everything. I think one of the hardest things it was that they were making this game about his son, and then his son passed before they could even finish the game. Yeah. And then they still had to finish.
That's Geez, I can't imagine.
Yeah,
but I'm sure like on some level it was like therapy for them as well, though.
I'm sure.
I'm not like just looking for the light at the end of the tunnel sort of thing, but yeah, it was a good award. I think it was well deserved as well. It was an emotional one. That's what it's all about, really. So yeah, on that depressing note, what was next? We actually had after that a game announcement for Dauntless. And I've got no interest in this game whatsoever. I don't know about you guys.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even really remember it that well. I remember like while it was on, I was like, okay, it doesn't really look like anything that's gonna grab me. The art style was neat, but
yeah, it's a free to play PC game, a lot like League of Legends and stuff like that. Actually, there's League of Legends designers that worked on League of Legends that left to work on this game, so. It's probably going to be pretty similar, but it's apparently pretty similar to something like Monster Hunter. So, I don't know. We'll have to see.
There's one last comment I wanted to talk about that Dragon Cancer. Pedaling back a bit was I thought it was kind of weird when the two people on stage, the dude from Game Theorist and whoever the other person was, they're like, and the winner is that Dragon Cancer. It's like, whoa,
God, yeah.
like you could have toned that down a bit.
Yeah, it's like weird. Like they knew who was going to win that as well. It's like you could have picked anyone, dude. Anyone to like. Oh.
I think that kind of tells me is that they had no clue what that game was or the story behind it.
Yeah.
Or like they're in award ceremony like headspace, and then they said it, and they're probably like, probably shouldn't have done that. Not like
right.
Not you should get mad at them for doing it. It was just a bit awkward, I thought.
Well, and especially I honestly kind of felt bad for him because they do that, and then you can see as the guy is walking up there, like
he started tearing up.
Yeah. I mean,
he wasn't even on stage yet.
The second that he stood up, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be fucking rough because I knew the backstory behind this game. I've not played it.
Yeah, me too.
But the second he stood up, I was like, oh no, you can't do this to him. But you could.
No.
I mean, obviously it was a good moment for him and everyone that had worked on the game, but Jesus, that's
all right.
It was pretty rough. But then straight after that, there was actually a decent one, a decent award, which had probably one of the best acceptance speeches which I've seen in a while, and it was for best performance. Nolan North won it.
That was
on stage.
And I called that a mile away. I mean, I think everyone did.
Yeah, I mean, it was his last performance as Drake, and it was well deserved, I would say. But his acceptance speech was amazing. Just the way he handled it, is a really classy dude, and yeah.
Well, I mean, you're a dev Vin. You got to appreciate that, right?
Yeah, I mean, because as he actually said in the speech, there's been a lot of talk going around about the whole, the performance strikes and all this sort of stuff, and people are getting annoyed when devs come out and say, well, yeah, they're getting treated like mildly like shit, but we're getting treated really like shit, and it's like, well, you guys should unionize and all this sort of stuff. But the fact that he just like cut through it like butter him is just like, look, this is what's going on. Like, we only exist because of these dudes, and everyone got a bit of credit, and it was nice. It was sort of like leveled the playing field, so that was a nice little moment for me personally anyway, but I thought it was quite nice. And then straight after that, we actually had a new trailer for Prey. I mean, are you a fan of Prey, Evan?
I
I've
actually
never played these games. I never played the first one, so
never played the first one. Didn't even know about the whole Prey 2 trailer when that came out. Went completely on my radar. But I'm a massive Dishonored fan, so once I
Right.
knew that Arcane was working on this, I immediately perked my ears up. I think this showing was awesome. I think Shane, it's not really the game for you, right? You're saying?
No, it's really not. It's this has happened to me a lot this year though, where there's these games coming out that I would not typically play, but like this trailer looked pretty good. It's
Yeah.
like I mean,
Like
I
some
never
of the-
played
look pretty
Prey,
good.
so-
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Like blink, the blink ability in Dishonored was a game changer for me, and like I love this gun that like it's like spraying, like insulation spray guns.
Yeah.
He had that, and then he was like able to
yeah.
jump on it and like create his own ledge, and then he used that gun that made him become a cup of tea to roll through. I was like, this is amazing. Like this could be as useful as the blink ability. Like I'm really excited to see how
Exactly.
that
I was
plays
gonna.
out.
This is why I wanted to talk to you about it, because the second I saw it, it reminded me a lot of like the nice little gadget-y abilities that you get in Dishonored.
Yeah,
The
and
second I
it's-
saw it, I was like, this is a lot like Dishonored. Actually, it's kind of looking similar, which is great. Like I was really excited for it.
But yeah, like Shane, I was with you when they initially announced they were working on Prey. I was like, okay, whatever. And then they showed the E3 trailer. I'm like, okay, creepy trailer, pretty cool, but whatever. And then I wasn't excited for it at all.
Yeah.
But then I watched this trailer. I'm like, okay, I'm excited now. So
Yeah.
not excited, but I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I mean, me not being excited, that has only to do with the fact that I never played the original one, so
Right.
I didn't know anything about it. So, but yeah, just watching this trailer, I mean, it looks pretty neat. I'd be willing to check it out.
Cool. So, like after that, obviously we had the big man himself, Reggie, with his body being all ready and stuff. He just spoke about Zelda a bit more, and we got a new gameplay demo, which looked the same as all the other stuff which I've seen. So,
Really?
yeah,
I mean, only worse.
right. Yeah, the frame rate was pretty noticeable. I don't know about you guys.
Not
but
according to some people on SIFTD.
Yes, not according to some people, but
Okay.
godlike frame rates.
yes. But those of us who were actually watching it, some of us on Twitch and some of us on YouTube, so it doesn't really matter which you were watching it on. Everyone said that the frame rate
Yeah, I mean, I was watching
bad.
it. I was watching it at like 1400p or whatever on YouTube, and it just looked like frame rate wise, it just did not look like it was there. And a lot of people are speculating, oh, is that the Wii U version? Is that not the Switch version or whatever? But even still, man, you show the best version of your game if you can, and that was definitely not it.
They were playing on a Wii U gamepad.
There you go then. All right, that answers my question.
Exactly.
But at the end of it, like I can't judge it too much. It's still like 6 months out, so it's still a while
apparently.
away. There's a lot of polish to do on that thing. But yeah, more Zelda. I guess that can't be a bad thing. Yeah, so like right after that, obviously Shovel Knight was announced, which is really cool. Like a lot of people enjoyed Shovel Knight 1. I think there's a lot of hardcore fans out there for that sort of stuff, like the old sort of Mega Man styled pixeled type platformers. I mean, I love that stuff. So yeah, I still need to get around to playing Shovel Knight.
I backed this on Kickstarter, so I am definitely looking forward to this.
You are
Yeah,
all
I
in,
think
buddy.
this,
Shane,
this
we had a
isn't-
conversation about this, right?
Yeah,
I think we
I
both
ended up-
agreed that the Plague Knight DLC was very disappointing.
Oh yeah, it was not good. It was.
And I
It
think
was
we had the same
confusing.
reason, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, so-
it was the moving, the jumping. It was, and the attacking was a part of the jumping. It was so weird.
Yeah, Shovel Knight's a great game, Vin. Like, you should get around to it. I didn't back
I
it on...
do want to get it. I do want to get
Yeah,
it.
I didn't back it on Kickstarter. It wasn't really on my radar. It looked cool. Like, I'm totally a whore for, like, the retro aesthetic.
It's all about how it plays, though, and there's no way
God,
you can
and it
know that
plays
until you get it, you know?
Beautifully.
So, yeah.
But the Plague Knight DLC, you play as the Plague Knight, which is one of the enemies in the original Shovel Knight. It had this weird mechanic. It was a brand new mechanic because he doesn't have a shovel. He doesn't move the same way Shovel Knight does.
Basically, you would like throw a potion midair, and that's how he would jump a little higher.
Yeah,
okay.
But
That's a bit
in a
weird.
game
But
that
it
requires
wasn't-
like pixel perfect platforming,
Yeah,
it just didn't work, and it was unresponsive. And I ended up unfortunately like quitting because I couldn't get through it. Yeah.
I didn't play it all the way. No.
No, neither
But
did
this
I.
this one is a little different. I got an email as a Kickstarter backer, and they kind of talked a little bit more about it. This one isn't just like because in the Plague Knight campaign, it was just like a side quest that took place in the same time. This one is a prequel that they actually built like from the ground up.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
awesome.
So this is a completely. It's basically a totally new game.
Oh, that's great.
It does look very. I mean, I'm sort of hyped for this. I do want to. I need to get around to the first one, but just the way people talk about it, it's got a huge legacy to live up to. So hopefully this isn't more like the DLC and a bit like the original, I guess. So what was it called? Shovel Knight: Spectre of Torment. That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Spectre Knight.
So
looking
Spectre
forward to
Knight.
it.
Yeah. No, it looks good. Okay, straight after that, we obviously had Mark Cerny come out on stage to talk about Knack for an hour. He did really. Jesus Christ, can you even imagine that if that happened? But anyway, the reason why he actually came out on stage was not to talk about Knack. He actually came out to present the Best Narrative Award, which eventually went to Uncharted 4. So we finally got one, Evan. Finally got one.
I guess it would be Uncharted 4. I hoped it would be Uncharted 4, and it was. So I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably... I was really happy that they got this award purely because Amy Hennig had nothing to do with this game, and that is no disrespect to Amy Hennig. She did an amazing job on the first 2.5 games. I know she worked a little bit on 3, but yeah, it was nice to see that they could sort of take the series and carry it to where it needed to be, even without her, sort of thing. So it's good that Naughty Dog has that.
I was actually thinking the exact same thing while this show is going on. It's like, all right, yeah, it shows like someone major in the company moves on, but they still can get it done.
They have flown the nest, as it were.
Well, it's Naughty Dog. I don't know.
Yeah,
those guys, man.
Yeah, Last of Us as well, without Amy Hennig. So
yeah, insane.
Right after that, we obviously had Best Game Direction, which was a bit of a weird one because I didn't know if this was going for a game or a studio or a public or whatever, but he eventually went to Blizzard.
I called that as well. I mean, I only got 8 out of 21 right, but that was one that I didn't give two thoughts about. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
it's
felt
Blizzard.
a bit weird after this one because obviously before Overwatch was in development, they spent 10 years working on a game which ultimately failed, and then they turned it around to make Overwatch. So, I mean, it's cool that they were able to make that turnaround, but I don't know if they should have won Best Game Direction sort of thing, but it's obviously specifically for Overwatch and not as a studio, so...
That's an interesting point. Never thought about it that way.
They did a great job on Overwatch, obviously. I mean, it's smashing sales, and they're doing really well with it. So, but I haven't played it properly. I've only played the beta. I mean, you mentioned that you played it a couple of weekends ago, like for free.
Yeah, the only reason I played it was that I actually played it for like 4 hours, but I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the end of these awards.
Fair enough. Cool. So after that, we had some more ads, some more chic battles in pixel art, which was
so weird. Were they fighting on the sink?
I don't know. Like I will fight for the power to shave. I don't know what it was. It was really, really bizarre.
I don't know what they were thinking with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's kind of odd.
I realize they got to pay the bills, but it's like I feel like the Game Awards.
Poor Kyle Bosman. Poor Kyle Bosman. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Every year he's been given this shit. Like, what do you even do with that?
There's just so much about this show. Just seems so blatantly corporate. Like they should at least mask the fact. But like
they've got it though, I guess. I mean,
Kyle Bosman couldn't get it out of his mouth without actually like laughing a bit. He said, "The PlayStation's PSN store, you don't know what's in store for you." And Keeley had to say the same thing. It's like who cares? Like some fucking marketing guy was like, "You have to say this after you say the PlayStation store." It's like, no, you don't. Everyone knows what the fucking PlayStation store is. It's a lame pun.
Yeah.
And it just makes it seem so like cold and corporate.
It was pretty weird.
Yeah, like
I felt bad for him though because you could tell he knew. I mean, he might as well have said it and then went, "Ha."
Yeah, he almost did.
Yeah, I know he really did.
It was so lame. Like that stuff bothered me. It's like just get on with it. Everyone who's watching the show knows about the PlayStation store. You don't have to stop fucking plugging it.
Yep, pretty much.
Get around to it. But yeah, right after that, we were obviously talking about this before, but the new Telltale game got announced, which was the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. And
I think that was early.
That was earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was way earlier.
That was earlier.
That was way earlier. Oh, well, it was the Walking Dead news series.
Yeah, the season
new trailer
3
for that, right? That was it. So yeah, like speaking of which, obviously Guardians of the Galaxy was announced. How do you guys feel about that?
Okay.
Is that all right? All right. Take if you were to look at Guardians of the Galaxy, the game, and then subtract the fact that Telltale have a terrible engine. Are you excited about the game?
I still wouldn't be excited for that game. The only things I'm excited for when it comes to Telltale would be The Walking Dead, because I played both season 1 and season 2, and then A Wolf Among Us. Like I was telling Shane, I'm the weird one out where my favorite game they've made is A Wolf Among Us.
Right.
And I doubt I'm in the minority on that one. But
yeah, their games are really hit and miss for me. Like some of them are amazing. Like the first season of The Walking Dead was great, but then there's other games which have just been like, yeah, it's all right, I guess. But
I like season 2. I actually finished. I played the last episode 3 different times, so I have 3 different possibilities sitting on my hard drive. Oh, but that's my PlayStation 3. What the fuck am I gonna do?
Welcome
Fuck that.
to
I'm not
your
going
new
back.
world.
I'm just gonna simulate like a possible ending and then start from there on the PlayStation 4. I'm not going back.
Look it on YouTube.
See, that was my issue. Is like I played the first season on my Vita, and then I heard all these. That was bad enough on Vita. I loved the game, but it was technically not great.
Yeah, not like great.
I heard that season 2 was even worse, almost unplayable on Vita. So I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. But so I've still never played season 2. But season 3, this little thing trailer they did for season 3 looks really good. So I kind of want to jump back into it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. I might give it a whirl, as it were. I mean, hopefully the engine's getting a bit better. So fingers crossed for it.
I will give it a whirl once every episode is out.
Yeah, right there with you.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I do the same thing. I need to get around to King's Quest as well, because that's finally finished. And I really enjoyed like the first half of the first episode, which I played. So let's see. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
But yeah, after that we got a proper look at Mass Effect Andromeda, which looked pretty cool. Looked like Mass Effect. You guys played. You played the trilogy, right, Evan? So
yeah, I did it weird. I played 2, 3, and then 1.
That's definitely how you're supposed to do a trilogy. Nailed it.
Yeah, just a really difficult time. Like, which does 3 become before 2?
Just you watching Fellowship of the Ring, like I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like
where did the hobbits go?
How can? All right, I think that joke is
this got too far anyway.
Yeah. I like all the Mass Effect games. I am not, man. There are There are fans of Mass Effect, and then there are Mass Effect fans. Like some people, like it's like those people who became depressed because they like wanted to live in the world of Avatar. You ever hear those stories? Like they wanted to become like
I believe it.
Real life Na'vi, and they fell into like depression because none of it was real, none of it is real. But there's some people I think that they just want to live. Like, if they could live on the Citadel for the rest of their lives as an avatar, they would. I am not one of those people, but I really like the series and can't really say anything about the story yet, right? But in terms of the gameplay and the gunplay, looks cool to me. You got a jetpack now, and that adds an extra mechanic to fighting. So, yeah. I'm excited for it. It looked cool.
Yeah. How about you, Shane? Did you play the Mass Effect games, or...?
No, I confess that I did not play them at all.
I'm right there with you, brother. Right there with you.
I mean, I did technically turn on the first one for a few minutes to kind of, get an idea of what it was all about, but I never really went beyond that.
Never got into it.
This trailer looked really cool. I'm actually strongly considering maybe jumping in on this one.
Yeah, the cool thing for both of you is like it has nothing to do with the original trilogy.
Exactly.
It's like tangentially related, so you could just jump in and play this. Yeah.
I mean, this is probably a day one purchase for me because just like how much stuff there is behind it, like the whole trilogy of Mass Effect, how many fans it's got. Like this is probably going to be a great game. So, yeah, I'm I am balls deep into this one, as they say.
I mean, we can all agree that it looked really nice, right?
Yeah, it looked pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's as big on scale as the first one, then yeah, I mean, how can it be a bad game?
For the most part, it looked fantastic.
There you go. Yeah.
Tremendous, even. Yeah. I'm not going down that road again. I apologize. Take that back. Moving on to our last point, which is, of course, the Game of the Year award, the actual winner of the Game Award. Our nominees this year were Titanfall 2, Doom, Inside, Overwatch, Uncharted 4, and then the winner was finally announced to be Overwatch.
Boo! I'm just kidding. Like, I don't really care, but I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, it was interesting that Inside was nominated this year, but I don't know if that's like the sort of, the token indie game that gets shoved into all the nominations every year now since The Walking Dead.
Doesn't matter what type of award show it is. There's politics involved, and there's
exactly.
things added that shouldn't be added or are added for reasons other than possibly being a Game of the Year.
But that being said, I'm sure Inside is a lot of people's Game of the Year somewhere, like so.
The only one on this list that I was surprised to see nominated was Titanfall 2.
How did that win over Call of Duty or Battlefield 1?
I know. And I mean, I didn't play it, so I'm not speaking as someone who's played it. It's just, to me, that was a game that came out. Yeah, it came out, and then I haven't heard anything. I mean, it feels like it didn't even make a splash.
It really, honestly, like from when it first came out, because I was interested in it because I obviously missed Titanfall 1 because that was on Xbox and PC only. I thought, oh, cool, it should be a good game, right? And then when it came out, it got semi okay reviews. Like, it wasn't perfect. It was like 8 out of 10s everywhere, which is still a great score, don't get me wrong. But we're talking about Game of the Year material, like 8 out of 10s and a lot of negative things being said about it. It's kind of weird that it was there, especially since Battlefield 1 was getting 9 out of 10s and universally praised. It's weird. It's just very strange.
Yeah, and just like the degree to which all these games were talked about. Doom, Inside, Overwatch, obviously, and Uncharted 4 constantly being talked about, especially Overwatch. That's why I wasn't surprised that Overwatch won, but Titanfall 2 was like, okay.
But saying that Titanfall 2 has only just come out, so maybe it didn't have enough time to breathe, sort of thing. So maybe in a couple of months.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I don't know. I feel sorry for December games. They get no love because once you move on to the next year, they aren't really included in any conversation when it comes to awards.
This is my major sort of complaint about the Game Awards is when it is. The fact that it's at the start of December. I mean, we've got Final Fantasy 15 coming out. We've got The Last Guardian coming out next week. Like, what happens when they win Game of the Year in 2017? It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
They already can't win because it's too early, I think.
Right. I mean, well, they can be nominated in 17, but I don't know if they will, because there's so many other games coming out within that period.
Well, this totally happened with Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
That game came out, I think, I might get my dates wrong, December or late November of 2012, and it got completely overlooked, even in, like, year-end game deliberations, so much so that I listen to way too many gaming podcasts that people still refer to that every now and then, that, like, they felt bad that they didn't include it into the conversation during year-end game deliberations because they just hadn't played it at that time.
Right. But, yeah, I mean, with that being the end of the Game Awards, like, how did you guys feel about this year's show? Did you enjoy it? Shane?
I can appreciate what Jeff Keighley is trying to do with these awards.
Right.
And I have massive respect for that guy. But this is so much better. The last 3 years have been so much better than what the VGAs ever were. I mean, those things were a complete embarrassment to the industry.
I was talking to a friend about this the other day. He's like, do you remember the Sam Jackson ones? And it's like, it was just this horrible memory,
Yeah. So I mean, God. I'll give him that. It's not quite there for me yet. I'm,
right.
I don't know. I could do without, honestly.
Fair enough. Yeah. How about you, Evan? How do you feel about it?
It's weird. I actually completely 100% agree with Shane. It's just they're fucking boring. Like, the show is boring.
Yeah, it is. It was very boring.
It was very boring. And I like that Jeff Keighley is trying to create an award ceremony for an industry where there's people working so fucking hard and they change people's lives and they transform experiences. Like, it's something that should be celebrated.
Yes.
Right. Video games.
Absolutely.
And I think he agrees with that because he wants to give these people that make these video games, he wants to celebrate these people that work really hard, and it's, this billion-dollar industry, and I think there should be something to celebrate that. And like more recent, the more recent Game Award shows have been better than, let's not think about than they have ever been. But it's like I don't exactly know what they should do, but it's just like, this is not like it's fucking boring. Like, I don't know, and it boring to the point that Shane said, like, do we need it? But I think it's like, we should have something to celebrate games. I guess massive review sites like IGN and GameSpot and like Giant Bomb and that, they do their year-end awards, so that is something. I don't know, Vin, like, do you think we should keep them, or what do you think?
From my perspective, I think you're right. We definitely need an award show for some point, because these people need recognition at the end of the day, and the fact that they're stuck in these freaking studios for 3 years at a time, and then they finally make this product and it gets praised. They deserve to be on that stage, sort of thing. So there's that side of it. But at the same time, as a show, I don't know how much it particularly works, because if you're watching the show to be entertained, sort of thing, then Keighley shouldn't be addressing that too much, that to the point that he has. He's like, oh, we got a world premiere, we got this game announcement, like, hold on and listen to this new game thing. It's like, it's not about that. It's meant to be about the award, so it should focus on that, but it doesn't. And it's like we've been jokingly saying it throughout this show, where Jeff Keighley said, oh, and in other news, by the way, Street Fighter V won Best Fighting Game of the Year. Anyway, moving on, and it's like, what? Like, why are you giving awards and then not giving them the stage time?
Well, and then he said, like, we don't have time to have a big production, have everyone up on stage. But the thing is, if you would cut out the music acts, and if you would cut out, all these, like, little ridiculous, like you said, these game announcements, we don't need those. All right, we have PSX, like.
We have E3. We have,
And I get, like, Jeff has got this, he does need to he needs to keep the lights on and stuff, and so he's got to listen to his advertisers, and there's other game companies that are trying to help him out and stuff like this, and that's all good and well, and I do think it's aiming in the right direction, because just remembering, like, them Samuel Jackson fucking presented VGXs, Jesus Christ, they were bad. So the fact that we have people in suits and ties walking onto a stage and getting a physical trophy and speaking about how they've worked hard on it, that's what's important to me. But I'm a developer, so it's I've got a different sort of perspective on it than other people, and neither perspective is right or wrong either. That's the thing. Like, everyone watches the show for a different reason, but I think there's a lot of gamers out there that watch the show for the new announcements and the new games that are going to get shown or whatever. They're not actually there to watch the awards, so it's a weird sort of balancing act. So I sort of feel sorry for Jeff at the same time. Mad respect for the guy that he's even trying this stuff. So
yeah, like Vin, you said, he needs to. He needs advertising. He needs to keep the lights on. And I hate to bring up the Oscars all the time, because it's not a one-to-one comparison, but it's like, you don't have...
Right.
Like, they are... It is a way of advertising movies to a crowd, but they don't have, fucking Schick Razor Man coming on the stage and talking about shaving, like... It's
that stuff
bad.
is pretty rough.
Like, there's so much bloat.
Yeah.
In this award show that just needs to be cut down, but then, like, they're losing money.
It's one of those flip things.
They kind of need this stuff.
Yeah,
it's a vicious cycle.
Like, that's the flip side of it, right? Yeah, like, if they just did awards, like, if it was a proper ceremony, everyone was in, the tux and all that sort of stuff, and they were getting up on stage, and the winner is, like, oh, everyone's clapping and all that. So if they did that for like 4 hours, how many people are going to watch that? It's like, it's going to be way lower. So not as many people, like, developers are going to watch that. It's not really, because the reason why the Oscars work so much is because it's a bunch of celebrities sat around, Like, the games industry doesn't have that yet. I mean, it has a couple of people that are well known, but not everyone in the crowd isn't a
basically a
celebrity,
handful
so
of
it's
dudes,
a different.
right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So, like, the weird thing about this whole thing is the games industry is still very young, so we're still figuring this stuff out. But I do think it's in the right direction.
I'm happy.
But
Yeah,
you're right. It's not.
I'm happy
there
it
yet.
exists. At least.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I really do. Again, this is so much better than what came before it, and it's definitely going in the right direction. Van, I think you're probably right. They just need to cut the bloat, you know.
Yeah.
And
it's tough. I mean, they got to keep the lights on, but it's about keeping people interested. Yeah, it's and like I wouldn't know what to do. You know, like if you were saying, well, what would you do, Vin? I'd be like, you got me, man, and no idea. The fact that Jeff's gotten this far is quite impressive, but yeah, some adjustments are needed, but we'll see how it gets over the next 5 years or so. I'm sure it'll carry on. I mean, he's getting enough money from it, so hopefully it continues and continues to grow and gets better for developers and people watching.
I think they just slightly move away from the blatant advertising stuff and focus more on the developers as much as you can. I mean, right? It's easy for me to say that, but I think they should focus on the awards more so than a lot of this just seemed to be like, you know, your whatever Mountain Dew kind of Dorito moments. I mean, that's kind of cynical, but yeah,
it could be worse. It could be worse. Yeah,
they can have advertisements without a giant razor walking around.
Hey man,
just tone it down a bit.
He was a funny guy. But yeah, coming up to the end of the podcast, just want to say a massive thank you to everyone listening. And again, we know it's been a couple of weeks and we're sorry that we've been away. But we are back now and everything's back on track, even though I'm a bit busy. But I'll push through because it's all fun. It's all games. So if you did want to join us, like Shane has, then you can basically message me or Evan either on Twitter, all via SIFTD, and we'll try and get back to you as quick as can because our list is pretty thin right now, right?
Yeah. I mean, if it was thinner, it wouldn't exist. It's very close to not existing. So
if it was any thinner, it'll be going backwards. Yeah. But yeah.
So yeah, get your name in the hat unless you want to listen to me again.
That's not all bad, man. But yeah, I did want to say thank you for joining us. It's been really cool to have you back on.
It's been great to be back on. So yeah, you guys know anytime you need a seat filled, I'll be ready and willing to hop in.
Oh, you will be filling it, I'm sure. Because
yep,
we need people. But yeah, you can follow us on Twitter at podcast_reload, and you can follow us and our shenanigans. And we always post up the latest episodes on there. It's always pinned to the top. So if you did want to listen to us at any point, then you can find us on there. We're also on iTunes and SoundCloud as well. Most of our listeners are actually on SoundCloud now, so come and find us on there, and you can always listen to us ranting on about random crap in the games industry. Is there anything you guys want to add?
No. I mean, I guess we could skip Twitter handles, right? All that jazz. Okay.
No, I'll do that now. But yeah, we're going to close out with any Twitter handles and any goodbyes we got. So we'll start off with you, Shane. What is your Twitter handle and any sign-offs?
My Twitter handle is CuriousConjurer, just like on SIFTD. Follow me on there. I'm always chatting about games and mouthing off about something. So
standard.
Yep. Pretty much just like on the site. So
how about you?
But yeah.
How about you, Evan?
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Nope, sorry. Are you done, Shane? Okay.
I'm done.
You can
Go
for
it.
You can find me at the stand user on Twitter. Shifted.
Twitter shit.
I think that's what I wanted to say. Twitter, SIFTD, and Giant Bomb. And Vin, how about yourself?
Twitter shifted. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I am at VinHillArt. You can find me and some of my finger paintings on there from time to time. Also bitching at politics and Nintendo fanboys as always. So come and find me and find my rants. It's always a good times. But yeah, thanks for joining us again, guys, and we will catch you guys next week. So thanks a lot for listening, and ta-ta. Bye-bye.
I was serious about pineapple and black olive pizza. It's might be the best pizza out there.
Where?
You lost me at the black olive.
Yeah, same.
Wait a minute. Are you saying the combination is bad, or black olives in general are bad?
Black olives in general are bad.
Yeah, black olives in general.
What? I can't be friends with either of you two.